Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our show. This is Starlight Beacon Transmissions. This is the live show. This is episode 71. I'm about to lose track. I mean, we've done so
I
many of
mean,
these. Yeah.
my show has to every time, literally, as we're starting recording, we're like, this is episode, as we're streaming our Spotify feed. What number were we on?
Yes. Yes. It's always fun between audio podcasts and now our live shows. I'm starting to like lose track here, but that's okay. That's okay. That means that I'm enjoying what I'm doing. You know. Uh, my name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host for the evening. Well, I'm one of your hosts for the evening because you're my guest host tonight.
I am just here to help out and have a good time.
And you know what?
Cry, mainly
Uh,
cry.
well, there's going to be a lot of tears shed this evening between all of the topics that we are going to be talking about. Um, Boy, howdy, do we have a show for you. Before we get into our topics, the lovely person that is sitting next to me, next to me, this is Rachel or Ray from the What Choice campaign, which I have to say, what an amazing fundraiser that was. Um,
It was unbelievable.
yes, and I have to say, congratulations for reaching the goal for that fundraiser because that was truly incredible.
We're going to do one last push in a couple weeks. We're trying to get through, a bunch of us are doing Podathon for Children's Miracle Network, so we're going to
Yes.
do that. And then we're going to try and get the last couple of thousand because we thought we were going to end at 45,000 and we decided, you know what, we're going to go for 50. It's going to take us a while, but we'll nickel and dime our way up to that goal.
Yeah.
So once Podathon's over, some more giveaways and all sorts of stuff.
Yes, and Podathon is actually next week.
Next week.
Yes. I had to think about that for a second because I know like a bunch of our fellow podcasters are involved in that. I know is Alden doing the Ryan Johnson interview for Podathon?
Yes, I believe they pre-recorded, so I believe
Yeah.
it's already happened, but I'm not sure. We are doing Followers of the Force. The
Yep.
podcast I'm on is doing ours live, and we
Okay.
have Gary Whitta who wrote the story for Rogue One.
Yes. And who's also a huge gamer too. Huge gaming nerd. But yes.
Oh, he also the Wordle craze. He invented Loodle, which is all dirty words, and I
Oh.
am way better at that game than I should be. And if I'm not good at that game that day, I learn a new word. It's great.
Well, the thing is that we can talk about that in our after hours show in a couple of weeks. Um, when we launch that. That'll be at 10 p.m. on Saturday nights. No, it won't because I
After
have to
dark.
go to bed
After
early.
dark.
Oh yeah. No, because I have to go to bed around 10 anyway. Um,
Last Saturday night, I was traveling for work. I asked my
yeah.
coworkers to go see a band at the event we were at,
Mhm.
and they're like, "I'm sorry, that band starts at 10 p.m. and I have a bedtime." I'm like, "We don't have to be anywhere till like 9:30 tomorrow morning." But no, we hit
Yeah.
everyone's bedtime. I'm a dweeb going to a band by myself in a town that I've never been to before. Just kind of like, "Yep, I'm here."
That
I had a
sounds
great time.
like
It was great.
yeah, that sounds like the recipe for either a really bad night or a really epic night.
Wasn't anything bad or good. I kind of just chilled by myself at the edges of the
Okay.
crowd. Bought a t-shirt for the band, had my beer, had my fried food, and went back to my hotel and was asleep by midnight. It was like the
That's not
I've
bad.
just turned 30 and this is how I go out. kind
Yeah.
of night.
Wait till you get to 35 because then you're not going to want to do anything.
After eating a fried piece of pie, I was really not sure I was going to want to do anything, but we made it. So, and I got to see it's an all-female AC/DC tribute band, so that was fun.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was great. I'll send you
Nice.
links later.
Yeah. Yeah. So tonight,
Anyway, Star Wars.
Star Wars, D23, and other topics that I'm going to throw in because why not? Um, yes. So tonight we are talking about Andor because we had the 9-minute preview, plus we had a new trailer drop today, which that trailer is incredible looking. Um, we're going to be talking Andor. We're going to be talking Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. We're going to be talking about Tales of the Jedi trailer. We're going to be talking about the brand new stills that just came out for Young Jedi Adventures. Um, there's a lot coming out of D23 that we have to talk about. We're also going to talk about that abysmal, and I'm going to say abysmal, Disney and Marvel Games showcase that happened yesterday. That was just not good, Rachel. It was just
I
not good.
can't say I saw it, but I will trust your judgment and I will listen
Mm,
and see what I think.
I
I
am.
was just watching your reaction to Assassin's Creed earlier because that's the game series
Oh,
I like.
yeah. Which I we are going to talk about that tonight too. Because there was a lot that came out of that. Um, a lot
I
of
haven't played
reveals.
them all yet. I've not played them all yet, but I like the ones I've played.
So I'm actually currently going through Assassin's Creed Rogue, which has the assassin that turns into a Templar during like the mid 1700s. So
I don't
he's the guy that
I
well
played that one.
have you played Unity?
No, I'm like
Okay.
way behind. I was on
Okay.
like one, two, three.
Okay. Okay. So like you've been like through the original games. Um.
Yeah, I played most of them. I didn't finish most of them, but I at
Okay.
least played them.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. So this one deals with an assassin that turns to the Templar Order after the wool is lifted from his eyes, essentially.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
and it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of the ship mechanics. You get to sail a lot in this game, which is fun, and it has like a lot of the ship mechanics from Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag. So that's a lot of fun. But we'll get into Assassin's Creed the showcase here in just a little bit. But before that, we do have a little bit of comic news to go over too. And let me just take a look at these notes because these notes didn't do a lot of things justice. Because I also did these last night. Oh, and we're also
Kind of,
going to
I
talk.
kind of was figuring the notes once D23 hit, the notes just went out the window and it
Oh
it
yeah,
became a we're
yeah,
doing it
yeah, yeah,
live.
yeah, yeah, yeah. To quote a disgraced journalist that we will not mention, we are doing it live. We are also going to talk a little bit about the High Republic. So let's get into a few of our announcements real quick. Then we're going to get into the news. Um, so I've been saying that our RPG show and then our brand new High Republic RPG are going to be happening this month in September, but no, they're not. We are actually going to be doing those in October. I'm getting together with the players here very shortly, and we are going to figure out some dates and drop those for you all. And those will be live shows. Also, no show on October 15th as I will be in I'll be in Canada on a cruise. So yeah, there's that. And then
What cruise line you going on?
Disney. We're going on the Disney Magic, and
Nice.
this,
I've never been on a Disney cruise.
yeah, I've never been on a Disney cruise either, so this is actually going to be an interesting experience. I will be taking a lot of photos and trying to do like a lot of content from that cruise ship. So there's that possible, and then our final announcement here is possible show on December 10th, but it depends on how tired I am from Ocean City Comic Con, which is a wonderful one-day convention here on the eastern shore of Maryland, in a little town called Ocean City. It's actually my hometown. I grew up there, and it's just a great one-day con, and it's just tons of fun, and I can't wait. Like every December, I love going back to Ocean City Comic Con because well, number one, I love going back to my old hometown and seeing my friends. Of course, my parents don't live there anymore. They live in Florida, aka God's waiting room. And but it's a lot of fun. It's a great one day show, as I said, and yeah, it's fun. So if you live in the DMV area and you're looking for a small convention to do, head on down to Ocean City. It's wonderful. If you're not from the DMV area, still fly to Baltimore, rent a car. It's a 2.5 hour drive, and boom, you're in Ocean City. Uh, and it's wonderful. So I'm just throwing it out there for those of you that may be in other states that aren't in the DMV area and you want to do a one day con. I'm not looking at you, Rachel. I'm not.
Look, I don't know if I can do it this year, but next year, watch out. You'll get a call that I need to come sleep on your couch.
We'll get a big enough hotel room next year. All right, let's get in.
You fly? Can you fly with a lightsaber? Because
Actually,
I
you can.
feel like that
You
would
can.
cause good.
Yeah. Um,
Get on my little tiny Southwest Airlines seat with my little lightsaber. Be
well,
great.
okay. So you know I work for Southwest, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. I do. So I am familiar with being in that tiny seat and everything. But yeah, so we've actually like when we were in Galaxy's Edge last year in October when we did Boo Bash, which was like the condensed Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We did Galaxy's Edge the next day. My wife built a lightsaber and like she was able to carry it on no problem because she had it like in the sling and everything. So yes, you can carry on a lightsaber if it's in a sling. It's got to be in a carry-on, but yes, yes,
That in mind. I have an ultra saber, so
I do too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
always saying that people need to be careful at conventions
Hey,
because
Zach.
sometimes people at conventions like to air their views on the fandom,
Mhm.
and you should really not start going into Ray as a Mary Sue when I'm dressed as Ray and I have a very large hit and stick. I'm like,
Yeah.
you should probably like it mess with a guy dressed as Han Solo, they're carrying a fake blaster, right? If you mess
Mhm.
with women dressed as Rey, they all have either a lightsaber or a quarterstaff on their back. You should
Oh yeah.
probably not talk to them.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not a good idea.
Oh yeah. Well, exactly. So don't talk about Ray being Mary Sue because Ray isn't a Mary Sue. Ray is Ray. Um,
Mhm. And you should also probably not mansplain the Captain America movies to my sister when she's dressed as Peggy Carter because I just watch her eyeball twitch. And
oh,
I'm like, oh, we should get her out of there before she hits someone with her shield.
Melissa, Rachel, can I borrow your saber for crowd control? Melissa said that in
The
chat.
Norman.
Yes.
Melissa Norman. Hi, Missy. Glad to see you.
Hi, Melissa. Oh, by the way, um, don't talk about this book to people because people will get pissed off about this one too.
Oh, they're not allowed to get pissed off about that one. Beth is too cool.
Oh, Beth's amazing. I'm just
I
talking
love
about
her.
how like a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's just a stupid advertisement for a stupid hotel that I can't even afford." I'm sorry, but that
Okay,
book is
as
more
much
than an advertisement.
as, and this is the thing, as much as I'm mad that I cannot afford to go on that trip, if I had the money, I would so be on that trip.
Oh, me too. Me too. But I also like having a roof over my head and food in my stomach and clothes on my back. And I like going on
Like,
vacations.
yeah. Oh well, one of these days.
One of these days. Maybe they'll do another press event and we'll all get invited.
I'm still waiting for the level of fame where I get screeners for things
Mm,
because I'm not that famous yet, and I'm just waiting.
stick with me, kid. Stick with me. I'll help you out. So so let's move on to the news here. Uh, we've got a preview of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi #5. Let's see here if my Chrome will actually work. It does. Okay. Ben Kenobi follows the Jedi way in Marvel's Star Wars Obi-Wan #5 exclusive preview. Uh, looks like it looks like it's a cover by Phil Noto, and it's Obi-Wan in StarWars.com's exclusive look at Obi-Wan #5. Kenobi surveys the aftermath of a clash between Tusken Raiders and Stormtroopers. Still a Jedi to the core, he chooses compassion even when others may not.
I haven't caught up on Obi-Wan comics yet. I'm like really behind on comics, but I am starting to get more into them, so
Hmm.
to my list.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm really far behind on these comics as well, but I will say the preview that we get, the art is gorgeous, and there's this scene where there's this injured sand trooper, and Obi-Wan actually puts him on the Opie to save his life and take care of him, which is like really an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing to do. Any thoughts on Kenobi #5?
I'm hoping that it's just love that this character kind of got a resurgence because he's such a fan favorite,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I'm here for the era of Obi-Wan.
I think we all are at this point. Um,
Really, because it just keeps putting Ewan McGregor in interviews on my TV screen, and it's just first panel Vivian Lyra Blair ever did at C2E2, and she's precious and should be protected at all costs.
yes, she is. Vivian Lyra Blair was amazing as young Leia in Kenobi, and you're exactly right. She is a treasure and deserves and needs to be protected. So we're gonna shift focus from Obi-Wan Kenobi #5 to Bounty Hunters 27. If you're choosing between the Pikes and Crimson Dawn, things ain't good. That's the tagline here. This is pretty much in the aftermath of Crimson Reign, which was Kira's pretty much Kira's resurgence after War of the Bounty Hunters, and we are seeing that there are some tensions brewing between our favorite crew of misfits, the bounty hunters. And that's pretty much what I'm getting from this. Artwork looks great. Ethan Sachs writes an amazing script as usual. Any thoughts on Bounty Hunters 27?
That I'm always here for the resurgence of Kira as well.
Yes. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Let it happen.
Yes. Which they could have announced that today, too.
No, I don't ask for much.
No.
Just need Solo 2 to happen.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the High Republic, which is also going to get us into D23 here. High Republic Convergence, which is going to be the first adult novel of Phase 2, is being pushed back to mid-November, which this is common for a lot of books. Sometimes they do get pushed back. They could just be going through last-minute edits for the book. They could be just waiting on cover jacket art or the cover jackets to come in, anything.
It could even be for a while there was publishing was having delays because there was shipping paper.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think. Hopefully, it's not a paper issue because.
I would hope not. I know that's why like the paper and printing delays was why like Mission to Disaster, the digital
Hmm.
was out so much earlier than the hard copy.
Yeah,
I'm just I'm ready for the High Republic to be back, but also we got so spoiled with the fact that we basically got 3 phases in 12 months.
yeah.
So it went just over 12 months, but I'm going from like Night of the Jedi was January of 2021.
Hmm.
Um, and the Rising Storm would be the summer, and then January of 2022, like January 4th,
Yeah,
was the Fallen Star.
yeah, and
So it
then
was like an entire story in a year.
Wave 3 ended in March, I believe.
Yeah, I think Midnight Horizon was March.
No, Midnight Horizon was February. Mission
Okay,
to Disaster was March, and then Eye of the Storm was late March, I believe. Yeah. And then
that's
we
right.
also had um I'm blanking on the mangas. Oh, Edge Balance. We also had Edge Balance Volume 2. So, High Republic is gearing up. We are less than a month away from the return of the High Republic with uh, Justina Ireland and Tessa Gratton's Path of Deceit, which is going to blow our minds away in the best way
My
possible.
arc I won it should be in the mail.
Yes. Also, the day after Path of Deceit comes out, that is when Cavan Scott's brand new High Republic series drops for Marvel. Uh, that is,
Still knows what he did. He still knows what he did, and he's
yes,
not sorry.
no. Like he said in multiple times, I'll kill your second and third favorite characters too. So, but I will say this: Claudia has a lot of blood on her hands too.
She does, and I met her at C2E2,
Uh huh.
and did not ask my first question, which was how dare you? Because
Oh,
I was too busy word vomiting how much I loved her writing to be cool. Like I do not have a cool setting. I'm not cool because one of the first things she said to me and my friend who was with me dressed as Palpatine was, "Oh my god, can I take your picture? I love your costumes." And the last of my chill just
so yeah. I will never forgive her for killing the one character that I didn't want to see, or the two character, no, three characters I didn't want to see die in that book. We've talked about it before, but we're going to get into a High Republic thing here at the end of the month because I want to get closer to phase two before we do a huge recap of phase one again. Um,
Just a warning, I did the Phase 1 recap show on Radio Rebellion and
mhm,
we all cried. So just bring the tissues.
yeah.
It's gonna happen. Just whoever you have on, you will cry.
Well, you're going to be there. I'm already bringing you
I'm
on.
okay. Well, if I am free, I would
Yeah,
gladly be there.
I know. I know. But yeah, and
I have
then
no idea.
but keep in mind that will be spoiler heavy. So if you have not read the High Republic, number one, what are you doing with your life? Because it's absolutely amazing. And number two, get to reading. And number three, if you don't care about spoilers, well then that's the show for you. So there is that. Um, so let's move on to what is going to be. Well, I want to get into this one topic real quick, and then we're going to get into D23, and then that'll take us into Andor, which is something that you're not excited about at all. Um, okay, so we play video games here on the Beacon. A lot of us are gamers. Rachel, you just admitted that you love video games, especially the Assassin's Creed
Oh yeah.
franchise. And so today was the big Ubisoft forward that was teased back in the summertime. They never got around to it. And so they're like, well, in September, we're going to have this big Ubisoft forward. And then we're also going to talk about the future of Assassin's Creed because this year is the 15th anniversary, which I still can't believe this franchise is 15 years old at the moment. I feel very old. And if my buddy Chris Hager was in chat, he would feel just as old as I do. So anyway, Ubisoft Forward, they talked a little bit. They started the show off with Mario plus Rabbids Spark of Hope. I don't know if you know who the Rabbids are. Think Ubisoft's Minions, but they're bunnies. Yeah, really weird looking bunnies. Um, they're actually better than the Minions, but not by much. Yeah. So they showcased that for a little bit. Then we got Skull and Bone, which is a brand new pirate game that is going to be coming out in November.
Sorry, you just said all of my favorite words in the same sentence.
Brand new pirate game. Yeah, that's why I love Assassin's Creed Black Flag as much as I do. Ha-
Came
hmm?
of age during the Pirates of the Caribbean era.
Yes.
My mascot was a pirate.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean. It's one of my the first movie's one of my favorite movies because of just how awesome it is and just so much fun. Which I gotta say,
Dropped the best actors into the Caribbean and
yeah,
basically told them to act like pirates and just
yeah,
followed them around with a camera. That's why that
exactly.
movie works.
I will say this: two and three are pretty solid. Four is awful. Okay, go on.
Order.
Huh?
Point of order. 4 is fairly terrible story wise, but you have two redeeming factors. One, the performance of the guy as Blackbeard is amazing.
Oh, Ian McShane. Yes. Yeah.
Two, Penelope Cruz is hot, and I am very, very gay.
Understandable. Um, and then Pirates 5 is just horrible.
Didn't mind it, but I also haven't rewatched it since the first time I watched it. My mom went to go see it like twice in a week because she went with my siblings, and then my dad and I were going, and my mom's like, "What, are you going to leave us at home?" And we went, "Okay, go see it." My mom swears that movie's great because there's Paul McCartney in it briefly.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that movie. As much as I love Paul McCartney, I'm not gonna get into that movie because of just yeah.
Have
So
time for
anyway,
that.
Ubisoft is about to release a Pirates game in November, which should be a lot of fun. And then they talked about Rocksmith, which is guitar simulator essentially. You actually learn to play a guitar through this game, which is pretty cool. And it's got like an app on the phone and stuff. And then they went into Just Dance, which I was in. I was in a voice chat with Joey, who's one of our team members, and we were watching this thing. And Joey and I both agreed that it felt like we were tripping on acid.
Too white for Just Dance. I way too white.
This looks
Rhythm.
okay. When I say games look horrible, it has nothing to do with the developers themselves. It just has everything to do with just the concept of the game. Like I know a lot of people worked hard on that game. I get it. I get it. However, it's not for me. A lot of people play it, which is cool. But you will not see me doing Just Dance, and Rachel, you've pretty much admitted that you will not be playing Just Dance, so
Tried it. I'm not good at it.
neither am I. No. So then we had some Tom Clancy news. Rainbow Six is coming to mobile, and that's getting a beta soon. And then we're getting the Division on mobile, which that's getting a beta soon. And then came the best announcement. Came the time that we were all there for when they shifted focus to Assassin's Creed. Rachel, Elizabeth, Missy, maybe. um,
Oh, sorry. I'm replying to people in our chat.
no, no, you're fine. Oh, that's you. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Then came Assassin's Creed, the showcase, and they actually spent about half an hour on this. They showcased Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is going to take place in ninth century Baghdad.
Ooh,
Yeah, and it's actually one of the main character in this game is in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is the most recent title. And this is
the
actually
Viking one.
yeah, which is great by the way. It's so good. Um,
Finally got a PS4, so I'm gonna have to catch up on all of these because I didn't have a game system for a long time.
oh, cool. So Mirage is actually going to be the last Assassin's Creed on last generation. Before they move on to their next games. But don't worry. They said nobody's going to be left in the dust. But so this is Basim or Basim. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that name. And this is pretty much like a prequel to his story from Valhalla, which is pretty cool. Then they announced that they are working on a live action series with Netflix. They're
Be better than the movie.
we don't talk about that movie. I bought that movie for $2 on Xbox one time because it was on sale.
I don't think I ever saw it. I was trying to convince my ex to see it because he also loves Assassin's Creed, and he's like, "No, we don't." I think it's on my Voodoo, but I share Voodoo with my gay best friend who loves Michael Fassbender. So I think that's the only reason why we own that movie.
Nice. It's not for Jeremy Irons being the bad guy or anything. It's Michael Fassbender. Okay.
Look,
Um,
okay, we sat through the entirety of the Macbeth movie for Michael Fass. It was really good. The movie was very good, but that was the entire selling point of the movie from my friend.
Fassbender. Which he is actually one of my favorite characters in Inglorious Bastards. Also, like I love his bit in Inglorious Bastards. I really like him as Magneto. However, those movies screw him over so much. Uh,
I liked him in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but
oh
he just
yeah,
made me absolutely terrified of him.
he's great in those two movies. He is fantastic in those two movies.
Sorry, tangent. Don't
Yeah,
mind me.
no, it's fine. We both have ADHD. It's fine. We're just like ooh squirrel. So anyway, they announced the Netflix series. They also announced that they are working with Netflix on a mobile game that will actually be available on your Netflix account when it does release. Um, and
Been leaked.
I'm like, you know, I'm actually gonna try to convince my wife to cancel Netflix because we don't really use it that much. I'm using it right now to watch Seinfeld.
I already canceled mine, but I'm like, you may have my attention to turn it back on for a while.
Yeah, it depends like if they can deliver with Assassin's Creed. But I still think that this show's a couple of years out before we get it. But anyway, they announced they're working on another Assassin's Creed open world mobile game set in ancient China called
Ooh,
Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. And in this one, you get to create your own assassin. Yes, which
have my attention.
I'm really excited about that.
They have my attention.
Then they announced then they started talking about Assassin's Creed Infinity, which Infinity is going to be the brand new hub where you can go to launch Assassin's Creed games. So it's like the Animus, which is like the machine that they use in Assassin's Creed.
Hmm.
So they announced Assassin's Creed codenamed Red, which is going to be a brand new standalone single player story set in feudal Japan, in which you get to play as a ninja.
I'm gonna get into so much trouble.
Oh, I know. And then, do you are you interested in like the Salem witch trials and stuff?
Yes.
Assassin's Creed codenamed Hexy. They just teased the logo, but it looks like one of those witches' branches like hanging from a tree. And I have a feeling that's going to take place during the Salem witch trials. So both of those are in development. They're both going to be single player standalone games. And one's going to be they said one's going to be an RPG while the other one is just a regular action adventure game where you don't have to worry about leveling up. Red is going to be the RPG. So, but it's really, really cool, and it's a great time to be a fan, especially 15 years in, because Mirage comes out next year, and that thing is going to knock our socks off. Also, with Mirage, keep in mind, it's going to be roughly 15 to 20 hours for the story and the campaign, which is fine because it's going to be a shorter game, which is more than fine. Hey, Joey, we were just talking about Ubisoft Connect. Um and we were talking about how horrible Just Dance was. So, there is all of that. So, that's really cool. So let's move on to D23 and more video games where we had the abysmal Marvel Disney showcase. And Joey, if you want to get in here and talk about this, hop in real quick. I'll have you on to talk about how bad this was. If not, it's fine. So, anyway, we were looking forward to this because they announced Jedi Survivor a while back, which is the sequel to Fallen Order. Have you so you didn't play Fallen Order. Okay.
Not yet. I have it. Long story short, I moved out of the house that had the PS4. I've recently acquired one, but
That's right.
since May when I got it, I have not had time to play the PS4. So it's sitting over there. And one of these days we will hook it up and I will not leave the house for a week.
Nice. So I'm gonna be an Xbox shill real quick, just because I can. Um, there's this wonderful thing called Xbox Game Pass and Xbox All Access, in which you can actually get a brand new Xbox Series S or a brand new Xbox Series X for $24.99 or $34.99 a month, and you get 2 years of Game Pass. And Jedi Fallen Order is on Game Pass, even though you bought it, but still. Just saying that these games are
I
available.
will I will keep this in mind. I
Hmm.
have it's been a Sony person and I don't know why. I guess it's just that I got the PS3 and I just stuck with that, but
Hmm.
my PS5 was or PS4 was free because I
Nice.
got a hand me down from a friend. So
Hey, go for it. Use it because if it's available, use it. I am not gonna tell you no. Also, Joey just said hashtag Game Pass ad. You'd love to see it. Also, he
maybe you
said,
should get sponsored.
I mean, we should. Joey and I really should get sponsored by Microsoft because we plug Game Pass a lot. Anyway,
This
hmm,
Rachel is brought to you today by the Google suite of things because she uses Google for literally everything.
well, I will admit that I was just actually playing Assassin's Creed Rogue through Google Stadia on cloud, so there is that. Um, Switching to PC mainly, still have my PS4 though. PC is one of those things too where it's great because you can still hook up your controller to your PC and play games that way. So there's that, and Game Pass is on PC. So anyway, so this showcase started with I don't even remember what it started with. Some world premiere. Oh, PC is definitely a great way to go. We'll get all the Xbox and PS exclusives on there. Yeah, that's true. Because PlayStation exclusives are coming to PC. Um, anyway, I don't even remember what game started this showcase yesterday because I was just so bored with it. They talked about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, how we are getting everything but Nintendo. It talked about Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga and how they're releasing yet another version of the game with even more DLC character packs. Um, if I'm boring you, I'm sorry, Rachel. And
No,
if
you're
I'm
good. I'm
talking
just
too
trying to get
much,
my headphones back on right. No, I can't wait to
Tron
play the
Identity.
Skywalker Saga. I just
Yeah,
haven't had a chance to yet.
yes. Oh, Tron Identity was the starting title. That's right. So Tron Identity is actually going to be a graphic novel adventure video game set in the universe of Tron, where you actually make decisions that will affect not only the outcome of your character, but the outcome of other characters as well. So think Telltale in a way set in the Tron universe, and this is actually being done by a independent studio in the UK called Bethel Games. So that's pretty cool. That's right. It was
Feel like I
hmm?
feel like I've heard of them before, but I'm not sure from where I would have.
Actually, let me take a look because I just followed them on Twitter, and I will tell you what they did. No, or Bithell Games. That's right. It's Bithell Games.
Oh,
There it is.
maybe not then. I don't
They
know.
worked on they're an indie studio. Thomas Was Alone, Volume, The Circulars, John Wick Hex, uh, Solitaire Conspiracy, and Arcsmith. Currently working on Tron Identity.
I don't know. I thought I'd heard of them, but I guess I haven't. I also end up playing like the weirdest video games, like Jurassic World Evolution is
Love it.
currently my favorite game. So
I love Jurassic World Evolution actually. The
I
first one's
am
great.
never one to be like on the cutting edge. So
No, it's
me to be
fun.
the gamer who's like sick behind everyone else.
Then we got Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is pretty much think The Sims with Disney and Pixar characters. You're hanging out with them. Like you can cook with Remy.
I'm in.
Yeah, and you can plant with Wally. So there's that. Yes.
Gonna
Uh,
be okay. If anybody needs me for the next 3 years, I'm in the library with Belle. Bye.
there you go. Uh, Rachel's just gonna have just like a stack of games like this high when we get done tonight's show. Um,
Eric is the reason when somebody looks at my budget for the next year, it's just gonna have "damn it, Eric" at the bottom of it.
yeah. Well, I just want to let you know, speaking of budgets, real quick, we did push back the May trip for next year to October. So if you still want to meet at Galaxy's Edge, you can come in October
It
instead.
I will see what the budget looks
Yeah,
like.
after video
Hey,
games.
did you hear that? Will be no issues next year that require me to get you guys more prescriptions
There we go.
of senior dogs. That's where all my money goes. I have senior dogs.
I totally get it. So there was that. Then they announced Avatar is getting an MMO RPG shooter called Avatar Reckoning, and it's going to be on mobile.
I have no
So
comment. Just
a lot of people have said, so it's Destiny set in the Avatar universe.
don't get the avatar thing, but it makes a lot of people happy. So you
I
do
get it.
you.
It's
Y'all
it
do you.
it's not for everybody because I can see the issues with it. Because that first movie is really long. That is a long movie.
I haven't made it all the way through the first movie.
It's okay.
I think it's because I did not see it when it came out in theaters.
Hmm.
I might try to go see the re-release when it comes back into IMAX because I feel like that might be a little more immersive.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
just watch a regular television screen, like this is Pocahontas with blue people.
Some people have
Maybe
said
if I see it in a theater, I will appreciate it. But if it makes a lot of people happy, the world of Pandora, Avatar, at Animal Kingdom makes a lot of people happy.
hmm
Might not be for me. You do so.
which I gotta say, Pandora is a beautiful place, absolutely gorgeous place. Um, so yes, and then Frontiers of Pandora will be coming in 2023, which is Ubisoft's Avatar title. And then they didn't talk about Jedi Survivor, which Joey and I were talking about this yesterday after the showcase, and we both think that they're going to save that for the Game Awards in December uh, to show a trailer for that because that's releasing in March. They talked about Return to Monkey Island, which is a Lucasfilm game, which it's pirates again. So there you go, more pirates. And then they talked about Joey, what was the one with the Fab Four with Donald, Goofy, Mickey, and Minnie? It was Disney Illusion Island. All right, Zach, have a good night, buddy. Yeah, Disney Illusion Island is coming out, and it looks really cute, and it's kind of chibi and everything, and the animation reminds me a little bit of the current Mickey Mouse cartoons, which those are fun. A- and then they talked about uh, Disney's getting a Mario Kart racer that's called
Hmm.
Speedstorm, and that looks like a lot of fun.
I am brutal in Mario Kart.
Yeah, this one looks like a
Brutal.
friendship ruining game, by the way.
Mario Kart level friendship ruining, Mario Party level friendship ruining, or we played Monopoly with the woman who has an MBA friendship ruining.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm no longer allowed to play Monopoly with my friends.
Nice.
I have a master's in business and I have absolutely no mercy.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Monopoly fan,
I just
because
don't like to lose, so I will play for 4 hours if it means that I win.
I will flip a table at some point
And
because
usually people's reactions to Monopoly with me. It's not usually people's reactions to Mario Party or Mario Kart with me because I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, but I'm really terrible at Mario Party. So I feel like I did like a Disney Mario Kart though. I just feel like it's going to be all of the like cute little happy Disney adults just throwing stuff at each other.
oh yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, controllers will probably be in televisions with this game. And that
These are
was
wrist straps that they gave you for the Wiimotes. You just need one on each side of your controller.
yeah,
Just put it down.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, it's just that was pretty much it. Like I said, oh no, wait, there's one more thing. Like I said, I am really burnt out on the MCU right now. I think that it is just that they're doing way too much with it too fast. And I think a lot of us are feeling that way at the moment. They did announce a Captain America Black Panther World War II action adventure brawler game, where you play as Steve Rogers or T'Challa's grandfather. And then there's two other characters in it. One of them is a member of the Dora Milaje from Wakanda, and that'll be coming out soon. That is going to be done by Skydance Media, which is a new video game company, and it's going to be, I believe, Amy Henning is writing it, and Amy Henning actually did the Uncharted series for Sony. So she says that it's got a lot of Uncharted DNA in it, which is really friggin' cool. So be ready for that. That'll probably be within the next 2 years. And so let me see here. Skydance's Marvel and Star Wars games should both be fire. Yes, that's right. Amy Henning is also working on a Star Wars game for Skydance. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, and they also
Dr.
showcased.
Afra game. Dr. Afra game. Dr.
Yes,
Afra
actually, that
game.
would be amazing. Dr. Afra the in the style of Uncharted, I'd be done.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be done.
You'd have to pick me up. I would be like on the floor with smelling salts. It'll be bad.
Yeah,
You would they'll announce the Dr. Afra game and you will hear me scream from where you are.
yeah, there we go. Something started shaking. So,
It's Rachel. They put a lesbian in a Star Wars game and Rachel lost it. It's fine.
I'd lose it if both Afra and Manga were in that game too, or Magna. Uh, yeah. Yep. Done. So let me I'm trying. So that was pretty much it for that showcase. There's a couple of things that I'm missing. I'm not going to talk about Midnight Suns, which is a Marvel game, because it does not look good at all. Um, and then Marvel's working
Just not
on
a Marvel person.
I'm not
Oh,
really a Marvel person either, and we're so let's actually get into the Marvel stuff because the panel did happen today where they were talking about Secret Invasion and Armor Wars and a few other things. We're getting a Marvel Halloween special in October about it's called Werewolf by Night, and honestly, eh,
you saw though the short had I don't know if he's doing music or what, but it looks like Michael Giacchino was involved, which makes me go eh.
yeah,
But I mean, isn't everyday Halloween in the Marvel universe? They all dress up in their silly little costumes.
yeah,
I'm
I
getting killed. My God, I'm getting.
no,
I'm not a Marvel girl, but
but
I
it
do
is though.
enjoy some of the stories.
Yeah, I mean, but it is though. Every day is Halloween in the MCU because you've got all these costume people running around. But
Their underwear on the outside.
well, yeah. But I'm just thinking to myself like, oh, okay, this looks fun, but I don't care. And then I saw the Secret Invasion trailer, and honestly, it looks like they're gonna butcher that story, and I am not happy about that. What's
I'm
that?
just like the worst. I said I'm just I like certain MCU things, and
Hmm.
I am really excited. I know it's more Sony than MCU, but the one thing I'm excited for is Into the Spider-Verse too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm all for Into the Spider-Verse. I love the first movie so much, and I can't wait for this one.
They had me watch all of the Spider-Man movies from the original ones all the way through the MCU to prep for No Way Home. That's still the only Marvel movie I've ever seen in a theater because I liked the Spider-Man movies so much. But they didn't warn me when we watched Into the Spider-Verse that I was going to cry like a baby. Nobody warned me.
Into
They
the
just
Spider
brought me right like,
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse is very emotional.
God,
Uh,
yeah. I
but
did
it's
how much I
perfect.
emotions I had at No Way Home.
Okay, I enjoyed No Way Home, but I think Far From Home's better.
I feel like it's because I watched all of those movies
Hmm.
like um the first Spider-Man on in like 2 months. So it
Yeah.
was literally like all of my emotions converging.
Yeah. I will
Been
say this.
I'm
Hmm? No, go ahead.
I'm excited that MCU is expanding because
Hmm.
so many people like that and it does seem like there's some diversity in there.
Yeah.
It may not be my thing, but I watch what everybody says about it to decide which pieces I want to watch.
Yeah.
So
I really so real quick about Sony and Spider-Man. I really want to see them give Andrew Garfield another shot at a Spider-Man movie.
God, he's my favorite.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield is so good as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And those two movies that he did are criminally underrated.
I love that those were that was the ones that came out as my favorite,
Hmm.
and I think there's probably a Facebook group somewhere devoted to hating me for how I rank Spider-Man movies. But yeah, I was excited that they announced that there was going to be another Shang-Chi movie because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
Really
I'm
enjoyed Shang-Chi.
I was really happy about that too. Because that first movie is fantastic. I love that they tie up the loose ends from Iron Man 3 in that movie as well. Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery is friggin' amazing. He's so funny in that movie. Um, and then so they talked about Armor Wars, which is going to deal with like Hammer Industries and Stark Industries and like a few other things there. They talked a little bit about Wakanda Forever, but we get that in November. That's probably going to be the only MCU movie that I watch in theaters this year.
Didn't expect to cry at a trailer. So, tying into the later part of the show, I saw Rogue One twice in IMAX in the past
Hmm.
couple of weeks, and they played that. That was one of the few trailers they played, and I did
Oh,
not expect to get emotional over it, but I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I totally get it. I got emotional watching that first trailer on my freaking phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
that's
when we get into Andor, I sobbed like a baby watching the trailer on my phone, which you'll note my phone is the size of a postage stamp.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So they talked about that. They talked about a little bit about Avatar 2, which comes out in December. We didn't get any Star Wars movie news. We're probably not going to get that until Celebration in April. But we did get three new trailers today. We got The Mandalorian season 3, we got Tales of the Jedi season 1, and then we also got Andor season 1, the final trailer before this thing hits on September 21st. Um, The Mandalorian season 3, it looks beautiful. However, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying this, and if people crucify me for this, I don't care. I can't stand Grogu anymore. I am so sick and tired of seeing him.
sorry. I know it's stupid. It's like the Minions where they were on everything because they're cute. But do I still buy a ton of things with Grogu on them? Yes, I do because they're adorable. I don't know. It's the specific cute factor that I can live with. And
No, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. However, I'm looking at this from a storytelling point of view. In my opinion, and in the opinions of a lot of other people, and I would like to hear your opinion on this as well. Grogu's story ended in the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. There's no way that he should have been in Book of Boba Fett. There's no way.
I didn't like that he was in Book of Boba Fett, not because of the Mandalorian story, but because it didn't work with Boba Fett's story. We didn't need him in there, and we didn't need Luke Skywalker. I've got opinions on Luke Skywalker showing up and everything,
Oh no, I'm
but
tired of that
I
too.
I can see wanting to continue his story. I feel like there can be more of a story to him. I would like to see how they play it, but also honestly, it gives so much to Mando to do to have the kid with him. I, look, it may not be perfect from a storytelling point of view, but I will accept it because it gives me 40 minutes of joy in an otherwise craptastic world.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to watch it and I'm probably still going to enjoy it because it's Star Wars. I love brand new Star Wars content and I'll keep eating that crap up every single day because it's new Star Wars, you know.
Hmm.
Um but I'm just I'm curious to see where this goes, but honestly, he should not be in this season. It should be focused on the Dark Saber, Bo-Katan, and the liberation of Mandalore.
Would love if it was focused on that, but I can see why they'd put Grogu back in it because he's such a draw. But if they could work him into the story or have him be like they've managed in a couple of Mandalorian episodes to have him sidelined
Hmm.
appropriately, like when he went to
Yes.
school, we still had a couple of really cute moments,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So I'm wondering if they're going to find a way to work that in
Yeah. Bec-
where he's appropriately sidelined.
yeah. Because I will say that's actually the perfect example of him being sidelined is like when he puts him in the school and he ends up stealing the cookies. Like that is great.
Still got a couple of really cute
Hmm.
moments and him throwing up, which was kind of cute still.
It
But
was.
it's See, I don't know. The whole trailer, all of the dramatic stuff, it seems like he's not in, or at
Yeah,
least other than Bo-Katan's talking to him, which was also hysterically funny because
yeah,
she's just like she's sitting there talking to a baby that's cooing at her, and Bo-Katan's got to be like, "What the hell?"
yeah.
But I think your dad is the only Mandalorian. Grogu's like,
Grogu doesn't care.
oh, Grogu's just like, I don't know what's going on, but that's okay.
I
I am
wonder.
excited that Bo-Katan is back because I love her.
Hmm. I wonder if he's also an
I had to
audience stand-in to catch people up on the backstory. Maybe.
glad Grief was back because I love him too.
Yeah. Oh, I love Carl Weathers as Grief Karga. He's awesome.
Having the most fun, and it sounds like from what I saw of interviews, it sounds like Moff Gideon's still involved, and I love I love people when they're in Star Wars that enjoy being in Star Wars.
Hmm.
And he enjoys being in Star Wars.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito, absolutely. Yeah,
God, he's having the time of his life.
yeah.
He's just like, I'm gonna evil over here and I'm gonna evil over there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. All three trailers today about knocked me over.
Yes. I want to touch a little bit on Tales of the Jedi real quick, and then we're going to get into Andor and Rogue One. Tales of the Jedi looks absolutely incredible. It's kind of a hybrid of that Clone Wars and Rebels style that we've gotten, which looks great. However, I have one issue with it because it feels like they're retconning all of E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka novel. Uh,
I haven't read that one yet.
it's really good. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not here for that. But I'll give it a shot.
I just am excited because love that there's new animation and I love that it's short because of how much just kind of cool. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for more content and I'm excited for more Count Dooku. I love Count Dooku.
Yes,
Like he is a lot of fun as a character.
he is, and I love Dooku Jedi Lost. That's one of my favorite new canon stories. You haven't experienced that one yet? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm such a
No, it's
bad
fine.
fan.
No, no, no. It's fine. It's really, really good and really solid. If you love Kevin Scott's writing, you're gonna love Dooku Jedi Lost. Um,
Keep wanting to add it to my Audible list, but I
mhm.
keep spending my credits the second I get them and I'm like restraint, Rachel, restraint.
Yeah. So there's one other show that they talked about today before we get to Andor, and that is the Young Jedi Adventures animated series that we are getting next year that takes place during the High Republic. And I gotta say, we saw a screenshot of what the characters look like. They're chibi, they're awesome, and we're here for it. Yeah.
So I think said Skeleton Crew wrapped filming. So we
Yes.
might be getting another show soon later.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're probably going to get the first trailer for Skeleton Crew probably around Christmas, and then they'll give us a final trailer at Celebration.
I would say that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, so let's get to Andor. Ahsoka's still filming, but let's get to Andor here. Oh, by the way, they casted Ezra for Ahsoka.
It
Um.
looks good.
Yeah, I was really hoping for Mina Musad from Aladdin. Uh, but what's his name? His name is Aman Esfandi. So yes. Um, hold on, what does it say? Mina Musad reacts to Ezra Bridger casting. He never had a fair shot. I'm not gonna get into that at all, but anyway, Ezra Bridger is coming to Ahsoka. So now let's get to Andor. You can take it away. I'm done talking
Before
about it.
Rachel explodes into,
Yes.
my God, I am so excited. I cannot speak about my levels of excitement right now. I got approximately 3 seconds into this trailer before I started crying. Um, Something about the Force theme and the words from Rogue One
Hmm.
together. But yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for the 3 episode premiere. I'm a if it obviously since I'm on this show to talk about Rogue One, I love Rogue One. It's my favorite movie. And just the idea of getting this, I got to see the extended preview we got for Disney Plus Day. I got to see it on the IMAX screen because I went to go see Rogue One in IMAX twice in
Ooh.
3 days. It's fine. Yeah,
We're all fine
twice
here.
in 3 days. Yeah, we're all fine. It made sense. I had a group of friends up by Chicago that wanted to meet up and see it, so we did when I was traveling, and then my friends back in my hometown down south, and I went. So, but yeah, I sat through that movie twice in IMAX in 2 days. Once in the front row, because, and I'm not a front row IMAX movie girl,
Mm.
but that's the only place they had accessible seating. And Melissa in the chat was with me, and she is a wheelchair user, and so that's where we sat. So, yeah, if you've ever had the entirety of Rogue One blasted at you in the front row, it's a little intense. It is
I'm
a
sure.
little intense.
I'm
The
sure.
Andor trailer was really intense.
Oh, I'm sure. Um, I'm pretty sure Scarif is like even more brutal that up close.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Um.
Pretty brutal.
So I I have to say I love Rogue One. It's an absolutely incredible movie. Uh, it that was so like I know a lot of people say like The Force Awakens got them to fall in love with Star Wars again. Rogue One was the one that really got me to fall in love with Star Wars again. Um, just because of the characters and because of the story and the stakes and everything. It's an incredible story. Um,
I really only became a Star Wars fan with The Force Awakens.
mhm.
So Rogue One was still pretty early in my fandom, and I fell in love with this movie, this story, these themes. If you haven't seen as I'm moving my arms around, I have the Rebel Starbird on one arm and Hope tattooed on the other wrist.
Nice.
So not technically both related to Rogue One, but they kind of both fit the themes.
No, they're related. They're related.
I've always wanted the word hope on my wrist, and then
Mhm.
Rogue One just cemented that, and it's in my grandmother's handwriting. So,
Oh,
but that's why I've got it on my wrist, and why what choice is themed the way it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I will say this about Rogue One: Cassian Andor is my favorite character in that movie, because of everything that he goes through in that movie. Uh,
he's having a very very strange day.
he is, and
Really weird.
and I will say this: Diego Luna casted with Alan Tudyk. There is no perfect pairing, no more perfect pairing than those two in a Star Wars movie. Honestly.
Like I said, with how much I love people who love Star Wars being in Star Wars, Diego Luna friggin' loves being in Star Wars. That man is having the time of his life constantly.
Oh yeah.
But yes, actually a problem when we went to see it in IMAX is my friends and I would crack up 3 seconds before K2 said something because we knew what was coming. I'm like, I'm really sorry we're being these people right now, but he's about to say something very funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um. Plus, that and Solo might actually be the two funniest Star Wars movies.
Oh god, yeah, it's hilarious, but it's used to cut the tension at appropriate times.
It really is.
When the humor starts pulling out, like you'll notice as the Battle of Scarif progresses, there's little bits of humor, but not much.
Hmm.
And it's just like it's perfectly without you noticing that it's gone. Just ramps that tension a little
Hmm.
tighter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot, but and I really like when I'm looking at the previews for Andor.
Hmm.
They capture all of what I like about Rogue One with that revolutionary feeling, the hope, the espionage,
Hmm.
but without losing those characters and that heart. Because even from the glimpses I've seen of these characters in trailers and in magazine previews, they're have as rich of a life as our first Rogue One crew did.
Hmm. I'm really curious. So let's get into Andor here real quick. I'm really curious to see where Mon Mothma's story goes in this show. Um,
So excited.
yeah, this is Cassian's show, but I think this is as equal parts her show too. Um,
Yeah. I want to see how this rebellion was born. I want to see all of the Imperial Senate. I just want all of it streamed directly into my eyeballs.
so since we're talking about,
J-
huh?
to say, just in case anybody thinks that I'm just like this online, please ask my friends. I've been like this in person since the first trailer dropped. I am going to be impossible to live with for the next 3 months. I'm just telling y'all now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the same way actually. Um, I think Rogue and Andor are intriguing to me because they are about the humans on the ground and not all the magic. I totally agree with that. Also, I'm a total fan of Mon Mothma. Yeah. Um, I will say what makes Rogue One such a special movie and what's going to make this Cassian Andor series so special is we're actually seeing the war and how it affects normal people.
It is the war on an intensely personal level. And I
Hmm.
feel like we're going to see some of like what we saw um in the flashbacks with The Mandalorian where we saw how the war affected him as a kid
Hmm.
and his backstory. We're going to see like that level. I'm thinking like the people on the ground in Jeddah, stuff like that.
Yeah. I really think Jeddah is going to be prominently featured in this one too. Um,
My hot take is I really hope we don't get any lightsabers because while the Vader scene in Rogue One is really cool, really kind of detracted from what Rogue One was about. And people that say that that's the greatest scene in Rogue One need to really rewatch Rogue One a few times. Although, again, first row of the theater being blasted at you, that scene is really cool.
oh yeah. Um, to me, the most important scene in Rogue One is actually Bodhi Rook's defection to the Empire. Or, I mean, from the Empire to the Rebellion.
So, my friends and I do a reading of Rogue One every year for my birthday because we're theater nerds and have feelings. But one of my friends who I went to go see Rogue One with plays Bodhi Rook every year.
Hmm.
He will give you a speech if you ask him about how Bodhi was the real hero of that movie and does not get enough recognition. And I'm just like, okay, I've come to your TED talk. We've heard it for 3 years in a row. Thank you. But it's true. Like the
Yeah,
real hero of the rebellion was this whistleblower that just said, "Hey, I'm not down with this."
yeah. Bodhi Rook is the true hero of Rogue One. He is the Rogue One.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Then he just met
mhm,
honestly, he met the two people that pointed him in the right direction to be able to do it right.
mhm,
He met Galen, who told him he could make a difference, and
mhm,
then he met Galen's daughter, who showed him how.
yeah,
Because as brave as he was getting plans out, don't think without Jin he would have had the courage to go to Scarif alone, and he wouldn't have made it. It took
no.
every piece of that team to make it there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that movie is another thing about that movie is the team falls into place perfectly at the moments where they need to fall into place. Their formation, that team's formation is so natural where it doesn't feel forced like in a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy or like the Avengers movies or something like that. Like this feels like a natural coming together for these characters.
It's the first couple of times they're together, you can tell it's completely awkward because they're new to each other. Like joked that Rogue One should be subtitled "People Cassian Andor has kidnapped" because basically they talk Jin into coming with him, into them and the droid, and so cool, she's with him. They pick up the Guardians of the Wills at some point. They pick up Bodhi when he comes in.
Yeah.
And so this team is actually just like they just kind of picked people up along the way, and it's like, cool, now we're a team. What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, K2's like, when Cassian comes back, we're leaving them all here.
Yeah. But even then, like with K2, as sassy as he is and as much of a dick as he really does have a heart of gold in that movie. And like you can tell he really cares for each member of that team.
Droids that have made me cry recently.
He did and
K2,
yeah. Huh?
I thought K2 would be the only droid's death to make me cry, and then I met IG-11, and
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, not okay.
I don't know, Ned B's really got to me too.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Introducing a new droid in Andor who we haven't seen yet, and I'm like, cry
B2
over a droid.
emo.
Gonna make me cry over a droid again.
B2 emo, aka Goth Kid Droid. I mean,
No, I'm just so excited.
this
I'm
this droid
trying
is
to figure out what I want to talk about how much I like this movie and
yeah.
the previews I've seen for this show, and I don't know.
Okay, so let's start to make some final predictions here because we're 2 weeks out on this thing. What is the over under on Hera Syndulla being in Andor?
I don't know because at this point she's still in a different part of the galaxy. Okay, so sorry, I've got a lag.
No,
Are
you're
we
fine.
thinking season 1 or season 2?
Season one, she's not going to be in. I could see possibly season two.
Think she could be in season 2, towards the end of season 2, because
Yeah,
they're doing the jump forward. So I
yeah,
could see as the rebels start to come together, us seeing more familiar faces.
yeah. Um, I I'm pretty
Please, dear God, I would love K2 and Chopper to meet. It would make my life so much better.
yes. K2 and Chopper are two favorite murder droids. Uh, meeting. I will say this. I think we're getting Bail Organa in this show.
Oh, if we don't get Bail Organa in this show, I'm going to start a one-woman riot. I kind of like he's a prominent character, so he's not like my little glup shito character, but
Yeah.
I love Bale, and every time he's up, I scream. So
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Leia. If we do, it'll be glimpses. I don't think like we're gonna get
yeah,
her as like a prominent character. I would love to see Holdo in the show though.
I love Holdo.
Yeah,
I
me too.
hope so.
One thing, I mean, there's what's another character I would like to see. Well, I hope we
I
get.
almost hope that we don't get a ton of cameos in the first season. Not
Yeah,
even cameos, but even like little spots or Easter eggs.
yeah,
But as the second season I would love to see them as it comes together, as you
Hmm.
get the idea that these characters join into a unit.
Hmm.
But I'd love to see like little references. That's kind of a little thing.
Well, you could add Blue Leader in season two,
Oh
like
God, yeah, please.
about halfway through the season.
Of him.
I love Ben
He also
Daniels as
does
hmm?
was in the Jesus Christ Superstar concert with John Legend.
Oh, nice. He also did
Played Pontius Pilate.
nice. He was also in a few seasons of the hit BBC TV show Law and Order UK as a prosecutor. Melissa says The Path.
Actor and you haven't been on Law and Order?
What's that? About an actor being on Law and Order?
Okay.
I couldn't hear you. You broke
I
up. You
said sorry. I said if are you really an actor if you haven't been on some version of Law and Order?
yeah, exactly. Look at the people that have been on Special Victims.
Driver was on Special Victims Unit.
He was. He was.
Watch watch a lot of Law and Order. Don't
I, d- I do
too
too,
much.
actually.
But
Which
yeah, like if the path wove yeah, not hugely featured, but like if it was referenced that people were trying to get Jedi out
mhm.
at some point, like it the Vegas reference will be on the floor.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
just assume that I'm going to watch this show on the floor anyway.
I mean my only thing about the path though is like if you do it and you do show Jedi, make them the most obscure Jedi that not a lot of people know, except for like
They
diehard fans.
they put Ahsoka in my Andor show. I have nothing against Ahsoka. Absolutely nothing. I love her as a character, but please don't put her in this show
Nope.
because unless it's because Cassian was also a Fulcrum agent.
Yeah, but I think like if you do Cassian as a Fulcrum agent, Callus makes more sense than Ahsoka.
Does I could see maybe if they had like things back and forth, having the voice of Ahsoka in one of those Fulcrum holograms, or like her in a brief hologram trying to
Hmm.
talk back and forth to the other Fulcrums. But
Yeah.
I just don't want this to tie too much into Jedi storylines because I just want to see the grassroots of the rebellion.
Yeah, this is
They show
so
me Luke Skywalker, I will literally throw something at a
oh
wall.
yeah. This is a spy thriller set during the early days of the rebellion. It needs to be a grounded, dark spy thriller. You've got the team that worked on Jason Bourne movies for this show. So make it as dark as you can.
I feel like we're going to get, and I said this about one of my friends swears that Solo is the Casino Royale for Han Solo.
It is.
I think we're going to get Cassian Andor's Casino Royale in this first season.
Oh,
Don't think his
absolutely.
friend's going to make it to season two.
Um, so like this will be that brutal in your face Cassian Andor that's similar to Jason Bourne and Daniel Craig's James Bond. Like in your face like in the trailer today, he shoots a guy point blank in the face.
And he looked good doing
He
it.
did. He did. He did. But like if it's going to be that, putting Jedi in this would detract from that.
No, if Ahsoka shows up at all, I hope it's only her voice
Yeah.
because I just feel like she would not be happy about what's going on right now.
No. I could
I want that really brutal, really Bond reboot. Daniel Daniel Craig is my favorite James Bond.
Oh,
Casino
mine
Royale
too.
is my favorite Bond. You can send your hate mail to my Twitter account.
Oh no.
Yes, I've seen all the Bond movies. Daniel Craig the best.
I totally agree. Casino Royale is my favorite Daniel Craig Bond movie, and Daniel Craig is my absolute favorite Bond. I still need to watch No Time to Die, but uh,
Good.
yeah,
Real good.
that's what I've heard. But I mean, I've enjoyed all of Craig's Bond movies. But the thing is that like, there's one character like if you're gonna bring in like one obscure character for this show, I could see them bringing in Kumail Nanjiani's character from Obi-Wan, because remember, like, he kind of had the change of heart and joined the path and everything, and like kind of joined that sect of the rebellion.
Mm, I
Um,
loved him, so he can
yeah,
he can hang. He can
yeah,
hang. I just actually like if I get another Star Wars series, really just want like the prequel series to Obi-Wan with him about him being shady for 10 years.
yes, yes, I
Just
love him.
that. But
Yeah,
I just I'm trying to think of other people whose stories could be woven into this. No, Saw Gerrera plays. I know he's going to play a part, but if
yeah,
there's any mention of him abandoning Jin on the floor,
yeah.
just because this. Okay, so have you read Rebel Rising?
No, it's on my to read list.
So 5 years before Rogue One, where this takes place, is
Hmm.
the year Jin was abandoned. So the
Okay.
timelines all line up.
Hmm.
Just assume that there's a map with strain behind me because this is where I'm at right now. So Saw is not at a good point.
Hmm.
Yes, everybody's not at a good point. So there's all these little things that are coming together.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. I
We
can definitely see that.
I don't think we are gonna see Galen in a big role, but I feel like they might be mentioned or in the background.
He will. I think if you're gonna set up somebody from Rogue One besides Cassian, um, you're this is the show to set Krennic up.
You know, if they brought Ben Mendelsohn back, nobody would be mad.
He's in Secret
Speaking about
Invasion.
speaking about people that love being evil,
Ben Mendelsohn's fantastic.
he's having the time of his life.
Yeah. Which I gotta tell you, quick side note, if you've never watched Bloodline on Netflix with Ben Mendelsohn in it, you should, because he's absolutely incredible in that show. I was just gonna ask when they learned about Galen. Yeah, I would also like to see CGI Tarkin again.
Okay, even seeing this movie in IMAX, I don't know if I don't have an uncanny valley, but Tarkin looks fine.
Yeah.
Maybe a little wooden, but mostly fine. Like either the CGI is not as bad as everybody said it was,
Mhm.
or I don't have an uncanny valley. Do not follow me when the pod people invade because I will be the first to die.
Uh, I will say this: Leia's CGI at the end of Rogue One looks worse than Tarkin's.
She's just by that point nobody can tell because we're all crying.
Well, yeah, that's true
I'm
too.
sobbing by this point. I
That
am
is true.
sobbing.
That
Couldn't
is true.
tell yet to put a blank screen at that point. I wouldn't be able to tell.
But I would love to see Tarkin in this show, because you have to set up the rivalry between Tarkin and Krennic to.
It started in Catalyst.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Which Catalyst is an amazing book. So good.
I read it for the first time and it
So
was
good.
so good.
It really is.
We
It.
we
Mhm.
did an episode about it and we did it with Meg from my podcast and her husband from Larger View of the Force. And so he and I are like, so we're going to talk about the Manhattan Project. And Meg's just like, I'm never letting them on the same show again.
That's great. Um, I'm okay with Tarkin in small bits. Yeah, like don't make him the big bad. If you're gonna make somebody the big bad in the series, make it Krennic, but have Tarkin kind of like nitpicking him and just doing pop shots at him.
See Palpatine.
I don't want to see Palpatine. I really don't want to see Palpatine. We're probably gonna see him because of the Senate.
That's my thing is I hope that he's not like a villain involved, but I
Yeah.
would same idea as like when we saw him in Bad Batch,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, where or even like that little bit in Kenobi where he
Yeah.
was communicating with Vader. See him like the real higher ups having
Yeah.
messages from Palpatine or propaganda playing.
If they do propaganda and they make him look like the way he did in Rebels, like all regal and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like I think that would be interesting. Um, I think out of the Imperial Senate though, you're gonna get more Masameda than you are Palpatine.
I seen Masada.
Um,
Seen him in live, yeah, because he was in the prequels in live action.
yeah, yeah, and he's also
Try,
in, huh?
try to remember everywhere we see people.
Oh yeah. Well, he's also featured prominently in Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy too. Like it's okay. You don't need to read it. It's fine. Um, you don't
The
need to read it.
first book, where I have like 4 bookshelves filled with books, so stuffed in that I can't thing. So,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'd rather see Masameda than see Palpatine because like
mm,
Masameda is kind of like an obstacle for the senators to get by to get to Palpatine.
I
Um,
just would like if we saw him like again, like in Rebels, the little bits of propaganda. I would
yeah.
love to hear, like, see how that propaganda is scattered throughout the
Hmm.
galaxy. Like, I feel like how they used him in Bad Batch was really effective.
Oh,
Like
with
hearing that speech
yeah,
and
yeah, in the beginning.
did things, man.
Yeah. Um, so I want to point out I'd like to see Baze and Chirrut, but not a lot of Baze and Chirrut. Like I would like to see them start to do the Empire start to do the work on the Kyber temples, which causes like Baze and Chirrut to go to where they are in Rogue One. But I don't need them like featured prominently. Like if you give me like a 1 episode or 2 episode arc about them, I'm okay.
Even if it's not an arc, I mean,
Yeah.
like, honestly, the thing that I want more than like these people to be featured is just like maybe they start talking about there's talk of mining Jeddah and stuff, and a mention of the Guardians of the Temple
Hmm.
or something like just an idea that see the setups of these stories.
Yeah.
I'm also really excited for getting new characters
Yep.
because some new Imperials are always fun.
Oh, I love new Imperials.
The
Just want to.
woman looks like a boss bitch here
Oh,
for
she
it.
does. I just want to see them argue kind of like R2 and 3PO.
They are. They're okay. That is the one character that I don't care how shoehorned in the cameo is. I am always happy to see R2D2. I don't care if it makes no sense. Just
Yeah.
shoot him across my screen every now and then. I
Be-
was happier to see him in The Mandalorian than I was to see Luke, okay?
well, the thing is like you could shoehorn R2 into this because he's under Bail Organa's employ in this era.
I would love that if he just came in with Bale.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've said this on Followers of the Force episode, so sorry I'm previewing my own
You're fine.
podcast. The Jedi, one Jedi I would be okay with seeing. Not doing Jedi stuff right now. If they showed me Kanan Jarrus in his time right before he met up with the Ghost Crew. If somehow Cassian passed him and he
Yeah.
was out doing sketchy things. I feel like Kanan's past had a fair amount of sketch in it.
Well, yeah, we're talking like a new dawn Kanan Jarrus, like as he's meeting Hera. Like we're talking about womanizer Kanan Jarrus. Okay.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
All right, my love for animated men does not need to be a feature of this show.
Watch
Don't talk to me
yourself.
about the dudes in
Animate
Mulan.
myself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um,
Don't ask Rachel about her love for
it's
the
fine.
dude in Mulan, nor her thirst for Flynn Rider.
Smolder.
No, that's good. That's good. You should work. Yeah, yeah, doing good.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I try. I try. Um, which one of the restaurants on the Disney Magic is actually Rapunzel's royal table, and apparently
Oh,
they do a Rapunzel show or a Tangled show, and Flynn
good.
Rider does show up. So
Sounds like
yeah,
fun. I've
yeah,
only been on Carnival cruises, so not the same, but I had a lot of fun.
yeah. I've done Carnival a few times, and I've done Royal Caribbean once. Carnival was fun, and Royal Caribbean's fun. Carnival, I have a love-hate relationship with Carnival cruises because of like the amount of smoking that they allow on board in that casino is awful.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
My who I went on the cruise with smoked. So occasionally he was glad they allowed smoking in the casino, specifically because it meant that he didn't have to go outside when it was raining. But it meant that I didn't want to hang out in the casino at any point.
hmm
So basically, I think I only went into the casinos when that's where they were playing trivia because um, if you think I'm ruthless at Monopoly, you've never played pub trivia with me because I'm
I
sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
no, you're
I don't
fine.
know.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't have Casper here to kind of reel me in, so it's okay.
I am mean. I play pub trivia.
Um, I've done trivia like on these cruises before. Like so we did on one Carnival cruise that we did, they had Star Wars trivia one day. And it came down to a three-way tie for first. So we had to do a Wookiee off. Where like we each had to like do a Chewbacca impression, and I won hands down. A 24 karat gold piece of ship on a stick.
I have two of those and a medal, and then I decided to not go into the tiebreaker for the because I almost won 3 rounds of trivia on one cruise because I have no life.
I won five of these on one cruise.
One of them because I literally went to 2 rounds of trivia in a row. They gave me a medal the second time because they're like, "You already have the trophy."
Yeah.
And my boyfriend was like, "Are you gonna let somebody else win?" And I'm like, "No, because now it's for honor." I did. I did let the child win Harry Potter trivia. Although our
Okay.
first cruise, that was what I got the trophy for was Harry Potter trivia.
Nice.
Get author because we support trans people in
Yep.
this space, but
Absolutely.
rule at Harry Potter trivia.
Uh,
Very good at it.
so the last ship that I won was, I think it was on the Bermuda cruise that we did. And they did Jeopardy one night, like on the main stage, like in the hall where like they do the shows and stuff. I ran up the score on my opponents. Like at one point they pulled me from the podium to like try to give everybody else a chance to score. Like I ran up the score and they're like that wasn't fair and I was like it's a game, it's trivia. Like you have to answer questions.
Yeah, I got banned from playing Harry Potter Seen It with my siblings because if I went first, I'd make it all the way around the board before anybody else got a turn. I have a very particular set of skills.
Oh, okay, Liam.
They
Thank you.
translate to nothing in real life.
I am a font of useless knowledge. And don't get me started as soon as I do this deep dive into Assassin's Creed lore because I'm going to be insufferable. If you think I'm bad enough, people, if you think I'm bad enough with the High Republic, oh, just wait.
Next time is coming. Oh, and you think they've re-released Rogue One in theaters? I have a new show coming out.
Hmm.
I'm insufferable right now
Yeah,
for
oh,
the
yeah.
record. I'm insufferable on Twitter. I am insufferable in my real life.
Hmm.
I am living.
But it's an exciting time. And honestly, this is the show that is going to do huge numbers on Disney Plus. This show is going to do huge numbers.
Thing is, there's a lot of people that are like, well, why do we want a show about this guy? Rogue One Twitter may not be huge, but they are loud and they love things.
Yeah, they really do. And honestly, this is the show that Disney Plus needs right now. You good?
Sorry, my dog's being a jerk.
Okay. Um,
Bullying your brother. Sit down. Yeah,
but
it is. I love that Star Wars is for kids.
yeah, me too.
Feel like Rogue is the Star Wars movie that may not be for kids.
It it really isn't because of the heavy themes that it tackles.
Feel like Andor is probably not going to be a show for kids. And there is nothing wrong with Star Wars being for children because I am actually just a large child who still watches Disney movies and
Oh, yeah.
owns way too much gross merchandise. I went to a cattle auction for work today. What do I walk into this cattle auction? My coworker comes in with his leather briefcase and everything all cool, and I'm carrying a Grogu backpack
Hmm.
because I'm 12. Rogue One is really Star Wars for grown-ups.
It is. Now, going back to what you said about being a giant kid, I am too because I carry a solo Star Wars backpack with me when I go to work and when I travel and stuff because I love solo and that's like my favorite bag. Um, but Rogue One is the Star Wars, and Rogue One and Andor is Star Wars for adults. And honestly, I would, we would never get this, but honestly, I would rather have this have like a TV MA rating, honestly, because of the nature of what it tackles.
I think that they're going to really skirt that with kind of implying the violence, more like
Hmm.
I mean, we saw that a lot in Rogue One. Nothing got too bloody. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Nothing over the line where it would have been thrown into the R category.
Rogue,
My
yeah.
co-host on Fallout 4 always says that Rogue One, the first part is Apocalypse Now,
Hmm.
and then the last bit is Saving Private Ryan. That level of brutality,
Yeah.
or is cut way down.
Um, it, I will say this also. Yeah, like the first, I would say the first half of the movie is definitely like Apocalypse Now, very slow burn, very like methodical. It isn't until like you really get like Jeddah has a couple of skirmishes that are really entertaining to watch and show you the brutality of like these street fights and stuff. But it isn't until you get to Edu that like they really crank it up. And that to me is when it becomes Saving Private Ryan. Um, and then Scarif, that's definitely D-Day. That is definitely
Rough.
yeah. Um, I feel like the violence in this movie and the violence that we're gonna see on the TV show, it's gonna be hard PG-13, bordering on R, similar to the violence that was in Pattinson's Batman movie. How it was,
Yeah, that
how
one
yeah,
never got where I don't do gore.
yeah,
So it never got to where I watch. Loved that movie, by the way.
yeah. Oh, me too.
Um, Giacchino Batman movies with the cinematographer of Rogue One, just
That's right.
beam it
He
into my
did
brain.
do that. That was Henry Gil or Henry. Yeah. But yeah.
But I think also, because I thought we were going to get more. I'm not one of those people that's like, we need an R-rated Star Wars because like 90% of Star Wars needs to be for kids because they're
Absolutely.
all obsessed with a movie series that's about space wizards with light swords.
Mhm.
It's not. It's got some really deep themes. It's
Mhm.
a movie for kids. If you think about it for too long, it completely just goes crazy.
Yeah.
This is the other side of that, and this is the very real war
Yeah.
and a lot of revolution and things that happen in our world.
Yeah.
And Diego Luna has talked about that. It's the story of a migrant who needs to find his way.
Mhm.
This is the closest we're going to get to that R-rated Star Wars, and I think that this is what if we get R-rated or harder Star Wars, this is what it needs to be. It does not need to be the glorification of Vader chopping younglings to bits.
Yep.
It needs to be the absolute reality of war.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. This is, and that's why I love Rogue One so much because you actually see the brutality of war. Rogue One is a war movie first and foremost because you see what's going on and how it affects these people. There's one bit in Rogue One that I will never forget, and it's during that street skirmish on Jeddah with the kid that's separated from her mom, and Jin has to go in there instead of taking the shot to take out the one guy. She has to try to save this kid, and I mean she does, thank God. But like that shows you the brutality of war, and that shows you how quick things can escalate.
Honestly, if you have you read the Rogue One novelization?
I have. It's incredible.
And it just ramps it up to 11. And I like to occasionally ruin that movie for people when they're like, oh, good, the kid's safe. I'm like, she dies 10 minutes later when they fire the Death Star. And
Yep.
my friends are like, you're not really fun to hang out with sometimes.
Yeah. And you know
That's
what? Yeah. That's something that I forget is that Jeddah City gets blown up and that kid's
everybody
dead.
they saved dies.
Yeah. So,
Everybody they saved dies.
yeah.
It's all for nothing. I
I
mean, and not all for nothing, but you know what I mean. It's
yeah.
like, and that's war. You can
Yeah.
do everything right. You can be the hero, and something else terrible happens.
That's uh, you talked about Saving Private Ryan earlier and making the analogy. That's actually one of my favorite bits about Saving Private Ryan is there's the one scene where they're in the town that's just like completely just devastated, and it's during that pouring down rainstorm. It's when Vin Diesel's character dies in Saving Private Ryan, where they're trying to save the family. Because like the parents want the little girl to go with the troops because they feel that she would be safer with the troops. And
Hmm.
it's like when Diesel's character gets shot, and then like there's the sniper face off, like that. that's like the perfect analogy there is like they try so hard to save that little girl, but yet they end up sacrificing one of their own to save that girl and to save that family. Um, and that's a lot of Rogue Ones like that. Even Alexander Freed's Battlefront book is Saving Private Ryan in space.
Alexander Freed consistently, I always am maybe biased. I have a huge preference for women writing women in
Hmm.
Star Wars because I feel like so much of Star Wars on screen is always written by men.
Yeah.
So I love when like Beth wrote Jin
Hmm.
or Leia, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Xander Freed consistently does write by his women characters. He did write by Jin. He does write by the entire Alphabet Squadron.
Oh yeah.
It's great,
Uh,
but
yeah.
just that it's brutal. It's war and it's brutal.
Yeah. He even writes the one I'm blanking on her name also. I am so sorry that I keep blanking on a lot of these characters' names tonight. It's the one newcomer in Twilight Company that they pick up at the beginning of the book, like the fiery redhead.
I don't think I've read that one. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, no, it's fine. Uh, I will tell you this. Twilight Company, Alexander Freed paints the Battle of Hoth as what it is, and that is a complete bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Um,
to. I think I've got that on my Kindle somewhere. I
yeah.
just be read list is about stuff.
Uh, check out the audiobook because Jonathan Davis does the narration and he's pretty good at that. Um,
I will definitely do that.
yeah. I love Jonathan Davis on Star Wars audiobooks, especially like when he does Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan because they sound so much like their actors. Um, but anyway, Andor is just around the corner. Rogue One is still relevant, if not more relevant today.
The
Eh,
scene that always still gets me with relevance. I'm sorry, I know we're coming
no,
to
you're
the
fine.
end.
Yeah.
Jin's speech to the council, which is why that's
Hmm.
the scene my fundraiser was
Yeah.
named after, with Meg's idea, not mine. And it's that idea of what chance do we have? The question is, what choice?
Yeah.
If you give way to some this evil with this much power, condemn the galaxy to an eternity of submission.
Hmm.
It's like if you give way in the face of evil, even when it seems like you can't stop it. I'm trying to remember all of what she says. Run, hide, plead for mercy, scatter your forces. If you give way, that's like even you don't have a choice. When you see something evil, you need to stand up.
Yeah.
And even now, when it's like, well, Supreme Court said this, what can we do? And it's like, chance do we have? What choice do you have? You have to fight it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. And that's the overall story of that movie and this series is that because let's face it, I don't really want to get political tonight, and I know that you kind of don't want to either because let's face it, it's been a long week. um, but there like we are living in some dark times right now where it just feels like there's no light, there's no hope. But I just want to say that if you watch this story, if you watch Andor and you see the comparisons, like we see the comparisons just in the two or three trailers that we got, it's time to stand up and it's time to make a difference. Um, and
It's
that's
Fiona Shaw character keeps saying in the trailers, what a reckoning looks like.
yeah. And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Um, just know that um, you know there are calls to action, and this is a time to stand up and do something. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Um, we are super excited for Andor. We are going to be breaking that down every week um, for 9 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that, because we've
And
got 3 episodes in the first week, and then it goes
just
weekly after that.
just if y'all follow me on Twitter on Built on Stardust, like it says on my thing, I'm just gonna be real annoying for 10 weeks. I mean, I'm gonna be fun, but I'm gonna be real annoying.
I think we all are at that point because, we need to inject this in our veins. Also, I will say this, please do not spoil the episode for people till at least the following Monday. Like, give
On
people time
when
to breathe.
I know, like we all were good when it was Mando was released on Fridays. You spoiled it on Monday. Now it's
Yep.
like the friggin' Wild West because nobody knows what to do with Wednesday releases.
Nope.
So, like, if you can't wait till Monday, like Friday night or something, give somebody a weekend day. Give them a
Yeah.
weekend evening, like
Hmm.
something.
Yeah. I still haven't watched Rings of Power yet for this week, so we're probably going to watch that tomorrow after I get home
I
from work.
haven't started it yet. I want to, but I've had a lot to do, so I'm
That's
gonna.
fine.
If you get a bunch of texts from me that are all just me not knowing what's going on, that's fine.
No, that's perfectly fine. But that's going to be it for our show this week. Rachel, I am so sorry that I talked way too much tonight.
You're fine. I enjoyed watching you talk about things that excite you. That's always fun when somebody I'm like, I don't know all of what's going on, but you know what? It's like when somebody's explaining their special interest to you and you're like, I have no idea what quantum physics, but it seems to make you happy.
Exactly. Um, but that is our show for tonight. Rachel, you have been amazing. I love having you on. You are always welcome back. Yeah, you are always welcome back. The chair's always open for you, the door is always open for you. You just let me know when you want to come on and we will do it. I want to try to have you on for Andor's premiere. So we'll talk about that, about that episode. But yes, so that's it. We hope that you have a wonderful week, everybody. We talked about a lot tonight. Um, the mouse is about to get a lot of our time and attention and money, especially with the High Republic. Um,
I, for one, welcome our new mouse overlords.
well, yes, Mickey and Minnie are new mouse overlords. Well, oh, real quick, did you see Bob Chapek got booed when he came out on stage yesterday? Yeah, just just throwing it out there. Bob, if you're watching, which you probably aren't because this is a lowly podcast, I'm probably getting banned from Disney property for my next trip. Like when I show up for the cruise line, oh, Mr. Mitchell, you're banned. Mr. Chapek doesn't like you.
If I'm not banned from commenting on Disney things, because you know how like some people now are like, "Oh, Disney has this agenda," and I'm just like, "No, stop implying it. Make it gay or
Exactly. Disney has this agenda. So, who cares?
On a very serious note, though, I know
Hmm.
we talked a little bit about it. It's dark times. If you guys need to talk to someone, make sure you know there are lines to do that.
Yeah,
And remember what Leia said, hope's the fun. If you only believe in it when you see it, you'll never make it through the night.
exactly.
Know it's still there.
Yeah. And also, I just want to throw this out to our community. I know that we're over the 2 hour mark. If you, going to what Rachel said, if you need somebody to talk to, we are more than here for you. Even if it's just us listening to you, if you just have to vent, You can come to me. You can hang out in our Discord and vent. You can do all sorts of stuff. Just know that we're here for you and that we love you and that um, no matter what you're going through, we're going to help you get through it or try to help you get through it because that's what we do as a community. So, Rachel, thank you. Um, I love hanging out with you. You are the best.
Thank you. I love being here.
Yeah. Um, I, and you are such an amazing member of our community. So I just want to thank you for all of that. To chat, thank you for hanging out tonight. Thank you for chatting it up with us. Even if you didn't chat, that's cool. If you just hung out with us, that's fine. We are here for you every Saturday night, unless uh, something's going on. We're at a con or on vacation or something. But that's it. Have a wonderful week. May you always fight for light in life. May the Force always be with you. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you on socials. And we'll see you all tomorrow on social media. Bye.